China, the economic success story of the world. From the rather oppressive economic state under Chairman Mao Zedong to the second largest economy in the world, China has certainly risen to the status of a major world economic superpower. Prior to 1979, the government supported a command economy in which the state seemed to entirely control the country's activities. The goal was to be self-sufficient, so international trade was extremely limited. The economy was largely inefficient, stagnant, and too dependent upon the government. However, the death of Chairman Mao in 1976 sparked the beginning of a series of reforms moving towards a free market with much more open trade with the West. The reforms that began in 1979 fostered much more competition, influx of foreign investment, decentralization in policymaking, and individual businesses. The real GDP growth in 2007 was 14.2%, a drastic increase from the 4.4% in the pre-reform period. In comparison to other major economies, China has upheld a healthy growth rate, even in light of the recent worldwide economic struggles. However, even if our country has seen such rapid growth and improvement, we, as a nation, do face a number of very serious issues that quite frankly need attention. For one, China is among the nations with the most serious pollution problems, with 16 of our cities being in the top 20 most polluted cities in the world. I walk outside in Beijing never to see the clear blue skies that were in 2008 visible for the Olympics. The air is perpetually filled with the industrial smog that clogs the air we breathe. No doubt, this has been a huge concern for the health of Chinese citizens, some who have taken to wearing masks outdoors. The other major problem is the wide disparity between the poor and the rich, the huge income equality issue. Today, there are still 150 million people in China living under the poverty line, despite the leaps and bounds made economically. The rural-urban migration has further deepened the already obvious disparity between rural and urban areas. Rural citizens attracted to the much better access to healthcare, education, and other opportunities flock to the cities in search of a better life. However, as a result of a lack in training and skills, these citizens are extremely limited to jobs with low wages. And with the enormous supply of laborers, these jobs are very competitive, allowing wages to be alarmingly low. Also, much political unrest has grown from citizen disagreement with not only the issues I mentioned before, but also government corruption. As citizens, we agree that corruption is a top concern for our nation. The economic freedom granted by the reforms actually have done much to increase the scope of corruption. The weak regulations and rules of the government, as well as some blind faith in the market, have led to poor control of economic activity, which has allowed for the proliferation of unenforced laws, embezzlement, and bribery. Our government, however, recently has seemed to recognize these problems and has expressed desires to get away from the rapid growth and more towards smart economic growth for sustainability, efficiency, and higher standards of living. China has partnered with the World Bank and the ASEAN members to enact the 12th five-year plan to focus on sustainable growth with better urban environmental services and pollution management. In addition, we wish to address many other goals, including the improvement of educational and healthcare access, social protection, and social imbalances. This marks our country's attempt to focus on the improvement of quality of life rather than pure economic growth at any cost. We as citizens are certainly hopeful for our country's future, especially when realizing just how far we have come.